What a chill time to be an American.
Just the other day, you had retweeted Sassy Black Diva, this tweet that I totally agree with, that we need to defund comedy.
Oh my God, yeah, that made me laugh so hard. The reason why I loved that tweet was because I know that it was probably in response to the Crystalia stuff, but like I have benefited greatly from our kind of cultural obsession with comedy and like podcasts and web series and you know, that's given me a career. So it's like, it's, you know, maybe hypocritical of me to like poo-poo on this time, but like, and I also love comedy, you know, I idolize comedians and I love doing it. So it's very hypocritical of me to talk shit on it, but like, I just don't understand. I think just we're so culturally bankrupt. Our institutions have failed us so miserably. Our government and our educational institutions have been so like corrupt and not funded, you know, properly for so long that like we're just like, we're really kind of out here on our own looking at comedians to be the voice of like morality. Like I don't understand why comedians have taken on such a kind of moral voice. I understand that that's part of comedy, is like, you know, having some perspective and commenting on the culture, of course. But I'm just so sick of like the importance we give comedians.
I feel like every morning I wake up and I have to face the universal question, and I know you guys can relate, which came first, this administration or my IBS?
We're going through something so traumatic. We're losing like hundreds and thousands of people just in our country alone, but like we're losing millions all over the world from a disease, from a crazy disease that we're like, you know, making worse. And we're going through a huge like upheaval, which is like so beautiful. And but I'm like, what are the kind of, why are comedians the ones why are like stupid fucking like rat comedians being asked to like kind of help us in this moment? That's why I loved that tweet, is I was like fuck comedy. Like I'm very much borrowing my friend Theta, my genius friend Theta Hamill, who's like a brilliant musician. She was talking about this to me the other day. She was just like, what? Like, she was like, I can't believe we don't have any sort of cultural institutions in place anymore. There's not going to be an opera or like classical music to like in any way help us like experience catharsis from this pandemic. We really have like web series.
TikTok.
We have TikTok and web series. And I am someone, I don't listen to classical music, so I don't mean to like in any way position myself as some sort of high-minded, like, but it was a really good point. I was like, right, like we don't have like public figures or like art forms that are like popular right now to like really like walk us through this like very traumatic moment. We're like left alone out in the wild, wild west with a bunch of dumb fucking comedians. Like telling it, like creating our moral like structure, and then B, being held to being held to a higher moral standard than politicians are. People whose literal job it is to like, you know. Anyway, so I just was like, yes, I'm ready for like comedy to die, but of course for my career to stay completely intact. Because, you know, it's like defunding the police. It's like, if you defund the police, what then do you fund? You fund social services, you know, mental health. Like, it's like, if we defunded comedy, what could we imagine what we could do with that money?
Yeah, poop is real. Poop is real. If I leave you guys with one thing tonight, it's that poop is real. I'm just quickly imagining my merchandise. Poop is real.